Word for you today, our devotional, Saturday, January the 10th. The downside of immorality. The downside of immorality is sin. Sin can be fun, can't it? Otherwise, why would we do it? Sin brings some kind of pleasure for a while. Otherwise, we wouldn't even consider doing it. But there's a downside to these moments of pleasure, these fun times. There's a huge downside. And in Psalm 39:8, David is writing, he says, "Save me from all my transgressions. Do not make me the scorn of fools." David is writing and asking God to help him not to be a stumbling block or a reproach to God. When we feel inclined to give in to some type of immorality, we need to consider the consequences. Write down, just as an exercise, if there's something that you're tempted to do that you know is not pleasing to God, write down the downside to it. Write down what would be a reason not to do that. One would be giving God's enemies a chance to gloat. Another one is looking at Jesus, who died for me, and realizing that I shamed him. The lost respect of family members, spouse, children, parents, siblings. Destroying my witness to others. The guilt I would carry around. The loss of respect for myself, and the loss of respect my friends would have for me. Creating memories that the enemy can bring back to my mind. The forfeiture of trust that took so long to develop. Bringing pleasure to Satan. Being remembered for my failure rather than my victories. Loss of opportunities for future witnessing. And the daily battle of overcoming temptations to repeat the fall. Fighting it over and over, the temptation, knowing that we've given in before. Being reminded, you gave in, you're going to give in again. 1 Thessalonians 4:3 says, "It is God's will that you should be holy, that you should avoid sexual immorality." Don't let a few moments of pleasure steal a lifetime of accomplishments. And National Geographic had color photos and drawings of what it must have been like the swift and terrible destruction that wiped out the Roman city of Pompeii. There was, in 79 AD, there was an explosion of a mountain, and so many people died instantly because of that. But here's the thing, they didn't have to. Because you see, the ground, there's recordings of that the ground had been rumbling. There was even smoke coming out of the top of the mountain. There were warnings that something big was about to happen. Well, there are also similar warnings today. We see people who lose their temper and kill, or lose their temper and hurt somebody. People who give in to pleasure, which destroys families. Greed, wanting more and more and more, and getting caught or just getting consumed by the greed. And we see what happens with that, the bitterness that builds up. And we see that happen in other people's. It's like that ground rumbling. It's like the smoke coming out of the mountain. And we see, if I give in to these things, this is what I can expect to have happen. We don't need to let that happen. No matter how much pleasure the sin is, there's a much bigger downside to the immorality. A much bigger one. Don't let a few moments of pleasure take such a toll on your life, your reputation, your witness. Is there anything you're struggling with today? Make that list of things that if you did this, how that would affect you, how would it affect your loved ones, how would it affect other people and how they see you, how would it affect you in your relationship with God. See if that doesn't help keep you from that. Have a good weekend. Hope to see you on Sunday.